Welcome. Now we're going to talk about step 6. We've done a lot of heavy lifting lately. We wrote down our moral inventory. We've had the courage to share it with another person, to ask God for forgiveness, and to really admit it to ourselves. So now we're ready to move on. Step 6 is we're entirely ready to have God remove all our defects of character. How's that for a mouthful? Because if you're like me, there was plenty to be worked on. There was plenty to be removed. A lot of people skip on step 6 and 7, but really they're the longest lifetime steps you're ever going to work. The longer I'm sober, the longer I'm around, the more time and the harder I look at myself, the more of these defects come to the surface. Things that I would have laughed at out of context when I first got sober, I'm working on today. Petty prejudices, misguided beliefs and ideas, fears, limitations. All these things can be worked on. Step 6 says that we're entirely ready. We don't have to do anything, but get ready. Become willing to let God come in and do His work in His time to remove our defects of character. I became aware of these defects. Think about this. The biggest issue I had when I came in was that I was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and I couldn't stop drinking. The compulsion was on me. It was an obsession. But when I got willing and I became humble and I asked God to please remove this obsession from me, even sober a long time, there's a lot of things. Those defects are right under the skin. If I don't keep going to meetings, if I don't keep the steps in front of me on a daily basis, if I don't keep working with other people trying to get sober, they start crawling out from underneath my skin and showing their ugly head. If God removed my obsession to drink and drug, why can't He, under other circumstances or under His circumstances, whatever He chooses, lift my other defects of character out of me? As long as I stay willing. As long as I stay willing to have faith in the process and take the right action. The Bible says that faith can move mountains. It doesn't tell you bring a shovel and lunch. Faith without works is dead. Working the steps is what makes for a quality of life. It works in every situation, whether you're an alcoholic, an addict, a food addict, or any other challenge I have. We all are human. This step is suggesting is that God, under the right conditions, if we become willing, right, and we're entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character and keep taking action towards that goal, that He will under the right circumstances. This step is a step that's worked every day of your life. No matter how good I think I'm doing, there's always room for improvement. Some people would say, well, that's perfection. Nobody could do it. And you know what? That is true. That is perfection, and that's God's perfection. And I'm not responsible for being perfect. I'm responsible for working towards the best that I can be. The only step I can work perfect is step 1, when I admit I'm powerless over alcohol and drugs and my life is unmanageable once I take them. And by working that perfectly for the last 25 plus years, I've been able to grow and change and become the man that I believe my higher power wants me to become. You can too. And part of it is becoming entirely ready. You can say, oh, I'm ready, but I'm not going to rush any. Maybe God will do this, maybe He won't. Yeah, that's a good alcoholic justification, rationalization. I did that too. I was great at rationalization and justifying poor decisions. I did it on a daily basis. All you needed to do in this step is become ready, pray for the willingness. When they reveal themselves, these ugly character defects, ask God, power greater than yourself, whatever you believe in, to remove them. And that's all that's required.